on, everybody? Long weekend. The bears have moved to the stock market, and now they've prowled over into the crypto market, guys. It's all happening here on Monday. Smash that like button, guys. I'll see you very, very soon. And now the intro. Three, two, one. Oh my goodness, everybody. Welcome to the Monday stream. Oh, do we have to start with this one? Do we have to start with cryptocurrency today? It's bleeding out. It's like that song. Except unfortunately, a few of us are hodling hard, if you can be hodling still. My goodness, it's 9%. Nasty, nasty. Underneath the bullish hammer. I must say, not unexpected. But you know what? I kind of needed to make a new low. And a lot of you will say, Tom, are you mad? Why the hell would you want Bitcoin underneath this level? Because right now, considering what we're seeing here, considering the fact that it's weakening again off the exact same resistance, pretty much it's always been weakening off, we know that we need the shakeout. We need the final big whales to come in. Those nasty BTC shorts, it played out. It did exactly as we thought it would. Where the hell's my BTC shorts? I know it's here. Where are you, BTC shorts? I guess I'll just bring up a new one. Let's do it. BTC shorts. Look at them. The nasty whales. They won again. But guess what? They're coming back into accumulation. And this shows you that, let's say either here, around this 32, 33, 31, whatever it just hit, or maybe one little spike underneath, take out the stop losses, and then the whales will be happy. The whales can get back in to the upwards trend. We know that's usually how these things play out. There's usually one last low. It usually takes out. Everyone's super fearful, and then it comes and it plays the right game. So for cryptocurrency traders, you're not going to like that. You're not going to like the Monday session, maybe even the Tuesday session, but hopefully we do see some recovery. Let's have a look what the room is saying. Upper Deck says it's Tom. What's up, Upper Decks? Good to have you here. Why can't we short crypto, says Conscious. Why can't you short crypto? You can, if you want to. You can if you want to, but do you really want to do that? DJ AJ says rip crypto. I don't think it's rip crypto. I think it's ripped a lot of traders that got into leverage throughout this whole process, though. And I do think that this is the game that, you know, that the markets play. Based on the previous examples of everything, let's just get rid of all these lines. And we'll go into the stock market after this, of course. We just want to do this crypto market because guess what? The sky is falling at this point. Notice a few things about this market. Number one, every time it's come down, we've always seen buyers around these levels. So we've seen commitment of buyers around these levels. Now, we don't know where it's going to close tomorrow at this stage. We just know that it's down around the level where they like to accumulate. The whale shorts are coming out of the market and they're going back into purchases. I'm sure of that based on what we're seeing there. And again, it proves that things like BTC shorts, even though it's only on the Bitfinex exchange, maybe it's better than we expected. Now, there's all this news about, of course, China. There's all this news about Michael Burry creating head and shoulders patterns on his Twitter and then deleting them. Is that correct? I think that's what he's been doing. But overall, I still think it's like this. Yeah, that's what we want. Now, how are we going to find the recovery? The reason and how we're going to find the recovery is we hope this happens. Take it out, quickly reject it. Ideal if that happens. And gives us a lightning bolt. And once we see that, you know what we can almost be sure of? We can almost be sure that we've got the bottom in. Follow us over on FX Evolution on Twitter, and I'll be posting charts this week on Bitcoin, on cryptocurrency, and of course some of our favorite stocks. So join us in the Discord community, !Discord, !Twitter, and we'll be covering this story because I'm very interested in Bitcoin this week, very interested in the crypto market this week, and we will be dialing in because I'm ready. I'm prepared. I've got the buckets loaded. I'm not sure what buckets they are, but it's like when you know, there's buckets. There's buckets somewhere. Thanks to the super chats that are coming through from Knock Knock right now. The bucket is getting loaded even more. And hopefully we'll be ready to take advantage of that. Let's have a quick look here at Ethereum. Ethereum, we expected to be weaker. A series of lower peaks coming through. Talked about this equal one here. We talked about how we expect, of course, Ethereum to be on its knees before Bitcoin was. Every other alt to be the same way. This will be like no other, or it'll be like every single time that's always happened. Bitcoin will lead the charge, then the alts will come through. And if it can turn around, they've got to turn around probably in the next, couple of days of trade. So if it's going to turn around, it'll turn around there. How low could Ethereum go? Well, that's the thing. If Bitcoin spikes lower, I could see Ethereum crash through liquidity. And that may force it down to something really bad, like a 1,500 or a 1,400. And you might think that's insane. But what happens is when Bitcoin drops, let's say it dropped under, and I still think this is a pretty decent level for it right now. But if it does drop under 30,000, this will get smashed. Because it's that fear panic and it goes through all of the liquidity lines. We've seen it before. And it's not cool. Which moving averages do I use? Yeah, that's correct. 20 exponential moving average, 50 exponential moving average, and 200 SMA. Now, I've been promising for a long time that I would make educational videos and put them on the YouTube. I believe this is the time. We're on the road to 100,000. We're not stopping until we get there as a community together, so share the word if you can. If you enjoy the stream, please do share it to friends, family, whoever else you've got out there. But yeah, I think it's time that we bring even more quality content to the community. So hopefully you guys can continue to give us feedback on what you like to see. I've seen some people say run a education kind of 10-minute segment in this stream, then cut it up and put it in after. Look, maybe if I get time, this week's going to be busy. I'll explain to you why, but yeah, it'll be good to get that stuff done. Let's do Knock Knock Super Chat, $5. Crypto is so boomer now. Moving on, Tom, what's your thoughts on the devil's lettuce stocks? Dr. Burry said 1x for 1x cannabis is the next big gainer. Okay. What do you mean crypto's boomer and we're going into weed stocks? I'm not done with crypto yet. We're not done with crypto. No. We'll get back. Let me have a look at Tilray in the middle. I'm just interested to see where it is pre-market. Oh. The devil's lettuce doesn't look very good on this chart. In fact, I don't even want to look at that chart right now. That's horrible, man. Rejection, and a bearish candle. Hopefully it gets better than that. All right, let's begin our process here. What do I think about that stuff? I think that it's very, very difficult to make money and there's no clear winner. So if you're going to trade like cannabis, you're probably better off just trading a index of them because which one's going to win, I don't know. And it's very it's kind of like genomics. It's very difficult for you to pick the winners. You might be able to pick like 5, but you can't take the risk of one of them stuffing it up. And the thing about these devil's lettuce, let's call it, places is, what if they sample their own product? They might not be, always in the zone, always in the business. You don't want that. How do you short ETH? You need basically to have some kind of CFD. So we call them contracts for differences. In a contract for difference in Australia, it's easy to do so. It depends on the country that you're in. Let's get into our analysis of the markets, though. And boy, oh boy, is it interesting right now. US 100, the triple Q as well. This is the one that's going to give us direction either way for the next month and a bit. You notice here, the weekly long leg doji, the indecision candle right at the peak. At the tippity top, we get a little bit higher. We come back. We make an indecision candle. We know what this means, community. We break above and close. Decision made to the bull side. We break below and close. nasty bears will literally eat our lunch, and then your foot, and then your hand, and there'll be nothing left. You won't even be able to press the button to buy the dip because they'll eat all of your hands. So unfortunately, we do not want them to get underneath this level. If they do, the bears get control. We'll have to be aware of that. So long leg doji, this is probably the best decision candle we've got on the stream at the moment. The reason why is because when you go over and you look at the US 500 and then you break that down to like the daily, well, we can see here the 50 exponential moving average has been really good buying. So you would say, okay, if it gets underneath that zone and closes, that would be a big negative for the market. At this point, of course, today, we're not doing so. What are we trying to do today? We're trying to fill the gap. Let's have a look at the SPX. So we look at the SPX. We can see the gap that appeared here. What do we know about markets? It's usually 2 steps down, 1 step back. So it doesn't mean that we're fully bullish or anything like that. We are optimistically bullish always on the market, specifically in the sectors that we've been talking about here on the channel, which we'll go through soon. But yeah, we're trying to fill back up here. So where are we trying to fill to? About that 42.20. Where are we currently? 41.80. So there could be a little bit of movement here. I think these moving averages on the SPX around this 42, what is this? 42.15, 42.20 will be a bit of a problem if we do get up there through the session. You can see the sellers will probably try to regain control of the market. And if they take out a new low, what will we have? We'll have the movement down. We'll have the lower peak. And then we'll have the lower trough. The lightning bolt reversal for the bears. And then shortly after that, we'll probably have the Nasdaq coming through as well, with, of course, a decision made, and they will have gained control. Jay Nibble says, FN bears, bro. Oh, there's plenty of bears here on the channel. In fact, I would say the channel is grown on bears. So we love the bulls, we love the bears. But I will say this always to the bears. Never forget this, because ultimately I've been a bigger bear than probably bull for, a long time in my career. Like, it's not, well, no, I'm a bigger bull than a bear, but, I always have this negative little, like, devil sitting there, and it always says, sell the market, Tom, sell the market. You know what I mean? It pays to be an optimist. That's actually a quote from Druckenmiller. If you don't know who that is, he's done pretty good over the years. Obviously, took his funds to about 20% average per annum for a very long time. Part of that Soros thing with the pound back in the day. But the main thing is it pays to be an optimist. And I think that is a great reason and a great thing to really think. And just for a bit of story time here before we get in the rest of the market. Do you know, I've been trading a long time and investing, well, not a long time, but since the GFC. And when, I'm sure there's some people out there that said, Tom, I've done 30 years, bro. You've done like 12. Come on. True. But, I've done a decent amount. Do you know how many bearish people were through the markets here? Every single person. The bears, the puts were out of control. People were buying puts. They were like, the market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. And you know what? Unfortunately, for them, it didn't crash. And that's why it often pays to be an optimist in the markets. I know it's hard with the mainstream media throwing a fear at you, with me putting fearful titles and then discussing, hopefully neutrally, through the price action. But you know what? I still put the fearful titles. Damn right we do. We have to do it, guys. It's the way it is. But you know what? It still pays to be an optimist, and you've got to be aware of when do the bears take full control of the market. Well, on the S&P 500, it's clear to see where they're going to take it. 40.63. You get underneath that on the weekly, that'll be the first weekly 20 break we've had in some time, and it opens up 37.80. I did said that, 37.80. Because if they can get through these weekly 2 lows, double top is in, absolute capitulation in the market, and they will dominate it. They will dominate it. It'll be like this. Bang. Bang. Something like that. That is a likely and very possible scenario. But only at a very specific time, at a specific point, can we even find those big bearish movements. Now, if you're going to short the tops, of course, you can always short things like the community trend line that we've discussed. There are shorts within shorts, like our short list down here on the right-hand side. Short potential. You can see them here. Let me just make sure we can... Whoa, what just happened then? I don't want to go into chats. There we go. Better. So there's the short potential that we had, and there's shorts within shorts. So if you want to be a bear in the market, there's always an opportunity for you, but it may not be the major index that you will make money out of. It could be something else. Michael Burry warns of mother all crashes coming. Yeah, so I've seen... The thing is with Michael Burry is... Has anyone actually tracked how correct he's been? I mean, he makes a lot of calls and then he deletes them quickly. How good has he really been? Now, I know the previous calls that he's made and he's been well known, but you have to track every single one of his calls. He also has been massive on the inflation play, and that's not working out for him right now. What's in his best interest at this stage? To make money. So he's going to try to, like, they all say something and don't always do it. Now, I think he's always generally done what he said, which is pretty impressive. But yeah, I'm not sure on his track record exactly. I just go with whatever the price action tells us. If the price action says optimistically bullish, we have to be optimistically bullish. If the price action says be run for the hills, we have to run for the hills. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. We will do TA on Salesforce Musti a little bit later. Yes. Equity indices are designed to go up. That's correct, Sang. That's correct, they are. That is correct. Be careful with CFDs. Absolutely. CFDs are leveraged products. You'll be very careful with the way that you trade them. Welcome to the 1,165 people viewing us on this Monday. Welcome. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, consider doing so. So we've done our S&P 500. We've done our US 100. We know that these are at points of indecision. The S&P 500 is at a point of support, or it was a few hours ago. So we go to the daily here, and you've got that 50 exponential. I could see why it's moving up. 42.20, 42.15 seems to be a resistance line that we'll have to watch throughout the session. Now, US 30, it's similar story. We've got the crazy trend line. We've got the movement up here. Can it bounce through? Time will tell on the US 30. The Dow was a good indicator that the breadth was coming out of the market. And what that meant was basically we have like all of tech going up. We've got all of our bio kind of going up. We've got our hyper stonks going up. And we, of course, had the healthcare doing well and a few other sectors. But not all was healthy. We had quite a lot of other stocks going down. As we see here, the short potential from last week. Many of these stocks got obliterated. The banks got obliterated. But they're all now on fairly decent support as well. Like you come in here and you can't, even though this is catching a falling knife, and hey, I don't want to do that. You can see why the market early on here is trying to recover. The banks, the financial sector, resistance, support. Movement up could certainly be it's the first level since over here. And guess what? It had a go here. It just failed to do so. So will it have a go here on Monday? It makes sense. That's why the futures are up. And they were down fairly decently as well. The S&P 500 was down 0.4% before in the Asian session. It was because I was looking at it because I'm Australian and obviously that's our day over here. So it was down 0.4. It's reversed now. And I did theorize that was probably going to be the way. And the reasons were simple. And it's got mostly to do with the dollar index. So we had two big resistances here on the dollar index. The first one, down here. It said, I'm not going to wait around that zone. I'm just going to keep going after Papa Powell told us that we were all going to be good. Do we know this zone was important? Yeah, you can see the consolidation here. But then you go over to the daily and you break it down. Oh, sorry, it's the weekly. Shouldn't be the daily. And there's a 50 exponential here. Now, what happened previously at the 50 exponential? It shorted off a little bit. So will there be nasty bears here? Yes. And when the dollar index goes down, we technically are saying risk on in the market. So we've got the S&P, number one, we've got S&P 500 at support. We've got the Dow Jones at support. We've got indecision at the peak, right on the close for the Nasdaq. We've got the dollar index at resistance. And then we've got the potential, and we've also at the same time got the US 10-year still fairly low. And we do know that it's not that sensitive to it. And then we've got, of course, the gold at the support. So you can see here, gold is at the support. Is it recovering? It is. Is it doing enough for us? No. And why? Because we need this to break through here. We need it to get through this 1800 zone and to show us that the market structure is in the way towards, some kind of bullish momentum. Let's see what people say about Michael Burry. John S. says, my prediction today is a falling star. Rocktopus says, Michael Burry is too big brain for his own good. He's right, but he's too early. He just needs to chill and watch price action until the right moment. Chill, Michael, chill. Yeah, I do think he's too early. Well, he's early. And look, I guarantee he's right. He's never going to be wrong because he'll say, I called it 10 years ago. I knew it was going to explode. They fundamentally ruined the money system last year. They already started it in the global financial crisis, but they blew it up yet last year. Every central bank is stuffed. They're all stuffed. They cannot get out of it. But guess what? You have to be cautiously optimistic. How do you even stop? Like, we might go into a world during our lifetimes, feasibly, for most of us out there, where we go into a Great Depression. I don't even want to talk about it. Because guess what? That sucks. And we don't want to think about that because it's not going to be in the next couple of years. It's most likely going to be in 15, 20, 30 years when the money system eventually explodes. But they can push it very, very hard. And we've talked about this on the channel several times. Some of you agree, some of you don't. But I think they can never, ever, ever scale back on what they've done. They stuffed it up and they know it. And guess what? They're not going to be the ones that paid the price. They don't care. They do not care, guys. They don't care about you. They don't care about me, and they stuffed it up because we probably should be in a depression right now, or not a depression, but definitely a pullback. And many of you will be like, oh, thank God we're not. But eventually we will be. Eventually we will be. VIX today, 2041. That's a long way away, I hope. Long, long, long way. So the volatility is increasing, which is okay. US oil, trying its hardest to get up there. Looking for a break of 70 to 80, closure above, so that we can move towards the 75. Let's see what people say about that. I'm on my third once-in-a-lifetime recession, says Open Elite. I'm not sure if that's good or bad. Yeah, that's going to be bad. Tom is usually bullish, really positive dude. Lucian, yeah. Oh, absolutely, Lucian. Yeah, I'm super positive on the markets. I'm just giving you I know Michael Burry's been very negative on the weekend, and I'm aware that many people are negative on the markets. I think that things are looking up, and I think innovation is going to be the best this next decade. I think investments and you guys know what's going on, because guess what? The hyper stonks are the future. They are the future. There's no doubt. I'm very positive towards them. The only thing I'm negative on is probably some of the old banks. I think some of the old banks will not keep up with the innovation. And they'll make money, but they won't make as much as they did. And I also think energy will have, a big rotation out of it. And it'll be slow. It'll be slow. It's still recovering right now. And then it will just slowly do its thing over time. So let's move through all of these stocks. What have we got in the pre-market here? HubSpot, 2.34%. Okay, whatever. Who has hubs out there? Has anyone got hubs? Probably not. These stocks, some healthcare in here. Chipotle, the unstoppable machine. The bank, JP Morgan, coming off those supports. Caterpillar also going up. Doesn't surprise me at all because they are all hitting supports on the Friday session after the quad witching day. And what's going to get beaten today makes sense. Coinbase is going to be down. Square's actually down a little bit less than I expected it to be. Square shouldn't trade as much as it does with Bitcoin, but I understand they have Bitcoin. The Cash App relies on Bitcoin to create new customers, but realistically, I think it's okay. We've got Zoom, we've got PayPal. This is not too bad. Let's go over to the meme stocks. Let's have a look what here's going on. Speculation, AMC up 62.12. That's nice. Good open if that did happen. GameStop 217.59. I'm watching this one super hard at the moment, guys. 240 is the resistance that we're looking at. And I'm very keen to see whether there is interest that comes back into that stock. When we least expect it, we'll be interested. But right now, it's just kind of hovering between that 210 and 230 zone. And then we scroll through Mara and Riot, going to be down the most because they're, of course, associated with the Bitcoins, the Bit Noodles. Let's have a look through some of our favorite stocks here. We'll go through Twitter first. So Twitter, flat as a tack, still trying to fill the gap to 64. Off the break, I don't know if that's too bad. Knock Knock says Tom is going on walkabout. What do you mean, man? Jay Nibble says that Tom, I missed most of Hubs last week, but you called it right. That's good, man. Look, I mean, it doesn't. Well, it's not good that you missed it. That sucks. But overall, remember, there's always another opportunity, guys. It always happens. So this is good. This is good movement here on Twitter. The Twitters, the 20, the 50, the nice little, level here going on, and we've got a strong level of resistance up the top. So let's go down the 2 hours. Okay. So we'll know that once we get past 61, 63, 64 is highly likely to occur. Highly likely. And the reason? Consolidation into a movement up. Let's get off that stock, though, because I'm interested in some others. The evil T-Docs. The worst stock. I hate this stock. It is definitely my kryptonite right now. I want to prove it wrong because you know what? I bought some over here. I got rid of it at earnings. And I'm going to take my revenge on T-Doc. But you know what? We can't take revenge, guys, until the damn thing does what it's meant to do. And here we have the weekly, and you'll notice a nice big bullish rejection coming through. Good. That's step one. That's good. Step two. I'm not disappointed with the volume. Slight improvement over here. Nice little bullish hammer here, followed by buys. Now what we need this week. Come on, guys. All we need is just a 159, please. I'm not asking much. I just want $10. Just give me $10, T-Doc. When we get past the 159, we can close. We will then take out the nasty short sellers on the stock and hopefully be able to push it towards at least the 170. Now, you better be worried about the 170, though. I hope it breaks it and smashes it, but this level here, support, support, support. You guys know. You can see it clearly on the chart. Everyone can see it. It's not a surprise. Airbnb, also another one that looks fairly interesting this week. Decent volumes coming through here. Nice. So we've got buy. Good volumes. A little bit of consolidation. I saw an article that someone shared in the private Discord community today. They said, it looks like there's exorbitant prices on Airbnbs. I think that's another benefit for the recovery play. You know that I see Airbnb and Square actually as recovery plays. Square, beautiful. Beautiful stuff. Will be down today. I'm looking for it to go to 231 and then hopefully get a turnaround. 2050 is about to cross as well. That will be nice. Let's just quickly go to some of these donations. What have we got going on here? A few donations coming in. Thank you very much. We have Mark Sharabonio. $10. Thank you very much, Mark. Appreciate that. Give me a quick clap there, guys. TA on SYNH. Syneos Health, please. What does price jump on large volume at the close Friday tell you, if anything? Depends on the industry a little bit there. So because it's health, could be a few different things. Could be people buying, actually taking delivery. So when you think about it, what's occurring on a Friday, such as the witching hour event? Well, you effectively got a whole bunch of options. Now, people are taking potentially delivery of shares. So they're saying, you know what, I want my shares. I'm going to buy them. I'm actually going to hold those levels. Now, when you look at this moving average, not moving average, you look at the price action here, that's a long leg doji, and you've got a very nice resistance, multiple resistance lines across the 86. So you'll know that that's an important level. We've had some decent volume here as well recently. So you have big volume here. You have big volume here. Wait, what day is that? Is that even on the crash day? Let me look. Yeah, that's on the crash day. No. Yeah, gap, and then big volume. And you got big volume over here, and you got increased activity. So when we scroll through, you'll notice increased activity in this particular stock. So I don't think you would say there's that much, super crazy stuff going on, but that's a great probably people taking the stocks, and you can see the clear level at 84 where there's a lot of consolidation. There's a lot of buy pressure that's coming through there. 86 plus should begin the participation phase, and then hopefully it goes up to the 89 kind of area. Not bad. It's good. Daily, long leg doji, indecision, great resistance. Actually, it's $90, the resistance. Bang. So every dollar counts a lot on this stock, and I quite like the overall setup. But the volume just tells me that there's a lot of deliveries, and probably somebody was taking the delivery. They were saying, I want the damn stock. Give me the stock. I don't want the money. I want the stock, damn it. Give it to me now. Eka Aurora, $2. TA on Fubo, please. We'll check that out in just a second. We will check that out in a second. Twilio. DKNG. Yeah, we can do it. Also, Knock Knock. Welcome to the Diamond Hands membership. Thank you very much for supporting the channel as always, Knock Knock. Appreciate it. Sam Hines says T-Doc calls. Potentially. Will WTI continue to surge, says Frederick Holberg. If it can get through 72.90, 72.80, that area, close above, I think 75, 76 is very logical for WTI. Absolutely. Yeah, I really do feel like that would be pretty sweet if it did occur. Let's do Fubo, and then we'll keep going through our market. So Fubo. We got out of this a little while ago. I think we had a pretty strong, if my memory serves me, we had inverse head and shoulders, and that sent us up to the $30-ish. Was that right? Around here, which was beautiful. Yeah, I remember now. Yeah, there it is. Don't know what the hell this is doing. Get rid of that. So TA on Fubo actually doesn't look too bad. It looks like it's consolidating, ready for maybe its next move. So you can see here a series of lower peaks. So we have to go down to the smaller time frames, probably an hour. So lower peak, lower peak, lower peak. We must be aware of that. And why we should be aware of that is because what it's telling us is that the bulls are not fully committed each time they push it up. But it even shows us an extra thing. And that is that if we do break through this zone and we break through this series of kind of lower peaks, what are we doing? We're saying we're ready to move, guys. We've been coiling. We've been getting all the shorters in. The profit taking's over and we're ready to move to the next level. I don't see a bearishness anything really here at this stage unless we get through 27. But you know what? I wouldn't want this to happen. If that happened, bad. In fact, I would almost dump it. Oh, you have to dump it if it closes underneath that support. So at this stage, looks like it's consolidating. Once it breaks through, the obvious target is 34, 34.50, 34. And then after that, the target is going to be pretty high, like 42 plus. So good luck on Fubo TV, Eka. You always bring some good ones to the community, so I appreciate that. And at this point, I guess it shows you also why TA is so important in terms of your take profit. Because as a trader, time is money. And if you're sitting in there and you're saying, okay, my expectations are here and here, then you see this type of price action after, what does that tell you about your analysis? It means that you've done some kick-ass job at your analysis. Kick-ass. That's beautiful. Because it's stopped and it's consolidated. And that should give you a lot of confidence that you're finding the right kind of horizontal key technical support and resistance. That usually is the way that you want to be looking at it. I'm still waiting for DKNG's June 16 signal candle. Hasn't closed above or below yet. TikTok. Yeah, DKNG, we've still got in the speculatives. I don't think I can bring it out of there, guys. This was an interesting case, though, of a hit piece being hit on that. Like, basically, this was obviously a hit piece. So we had the hedge fund that was shorting it basically come out and claim all these claims. And then it sold off pretty aggressively, got down to this zone here, this 48 kind of area on DKNG, DraftKings. And then at this day here, you can actually sell spreads for credits often and get incredible volatility premium. So on a day like this, if you're pretty comfortable with this and you don't necessarily want to hold it, or you could see it kind of like gap down and then consolidate for a while, you can look at actually spreads at those points. So this is just a good little tip when you see a market get so heavily smashed and you're very comfortable with the support. Now, I'm not saying sell full premium. I'm just saying a spread is an opportunity where you can fix your risk. You can obviously bring in a credit and you know that the premium is going to be on your side because, of course, the market is fearful at that stage. So if you're using TA and you're like, I'm not as fearful because of logical reasons as other people may be, then you can put in a credit spread. It's a super interesting point. All right, just reading some more questions here, guys, as they come through. So we're cautiously optimistic for today in terms of the market. We could fill some gaps here that were caused through the Friday quad witching hour session. It makes sense that the dollar index is at resistance and therefore could be turning around to the short side, meaning maybe some more risk on in the markets. The US 500 hit support on the Friday session as per our weekend video. And really probably the major concern is actually more for the Bitcoin side. That's where I think the bears are at this point, of how we're looking at it. We'll continue to go through. And there's a lot of cases for why we have to be cautiously optimistic on the market. Here we have Apple. Apple broke out recently. You can see the breakout that occurred. You can see the pullback, the strong buying aggression that came through. And then when we go to the FANG and you have a look at the FANG overall, is this the type of market right now that looks bearish? I mean, if you were to show anyone that, be honest with yourself. If you were to show somebody that, does that look bearish to you? Chat, what do you think? Let me know right now. Does that look bearish to you? This is a weekly. Let me show you the monthly. Currently, do you feel bearish about this weekly chart? Are we at a resistance? Yes. Did we actually close slightly above any other close ever on the FANG? Absolutely. We haven't done end phase yet, no. But end phase is still looking good to complete. So hopefully it can. End phase was an amazing trade last week. Keep doing some super chats while we're here. KC, super chat $5. Think Wish is going to make a huge breakout. TA, please. We'll check out Wish. That's a short squeeze stock. We'll have a look at it soon. No, bullish. Looks toppish to me. You could be proven correct to think it could be topped. But the thing is, if you always look at this as I'm going to short it, how many times are you going to be proven wrong because every market will always do something like this when it goes up. That's the problem that you've got. And I just want to get people out of the mentality to think that it's always good to be bearish, because it just doesn't pay, guys. I wish it did. It just doesn't pay. You have to be like a nimble bear. You come out, you catch the salmon like that John West joke, when he kicks the guy in the balls and he gets that fish. No, wait, he kicked the bear? I don't even know what happens, but I remember it was like, that shows my age. It was about 15, 18 years ago, the John West ad. So you got to go catch the salmon when the salmon are, going up the stream, and then you go hibernate. Because the rest of the time, it's not going to pay to be the bear. You only want to catch the salmon and get fat on the salmon and then leave. Get out of there. That's what you've got to do. Let's have a look at the Wish stock. Supposedly it's running. Yes, it is moving. Let's go to the daily. Consolidation. Volume's still very high, which is a good sign. 1201 on the open. Okay, so we've had a couple of 12 hits. Let's go to the 4 hour. No breakout ever above 12, actually. So no 4 hour above 12. An important factor when it comes to squeezes. 2 hour. No 2 hour above 12. Another important fact. Series of higher lows. That's good. That's bullish. Equal highs, higher lows. That's a good sign. So yes, this chart doesn't look half bad when you're thinking about the increased chitter chatter. Is that happening as well? We got to go over to things like Stocktwits. Maybe we'll do it together. Let's have a look. Stocktwits. Let's bring it up. Wish. Oh, gotta wait because. Okay, so message volume is up. Message volume is probably the only important thing. You can see here the message volume continues to increase as well. When we go to rankings and we go to trending now, Wish is there. 5.71. Torchlight Energy Resources, a wild stock, 35.46%. And then, of course, these are the top ones. So Torch, AMC, Wish. So as long as that continues, yeah, it makes sense once it gets above 12, actually. It does make sense. It's a gamble because all of these are gambles. But, yeah, that's not too bad. Thanks very much for the donation. Got Rocktopus 306 coming in with Canadian $5. Big supporter of the channel. Appreciate Rocktopus. HYFM. Okay. Isn't looking too hot to me. Tom, I've been accumulating the dips. I'm kind of yiking it. Hydro Farm. Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Look. Let's have a look at the weekly. I don't even know about that. I don't think it's that bad when I saw it on the 2 hour, 4 hour chart. because at least it's putting in a low here. So you've got supports. You've got some form of, series of lower peaks that it's trying to break at the moment, and effectively a double bottom. Kind of reminds me a lot of the hyper stocks we've seen recently, or stonks, where it is recovering. I don't think this is bad, but because it's such a huge, messy chart, all you really know right now is that you've got a huge support through here, and that you've got a series of lower peaks like any of those other hyper stonks, where effectively you break through this zone and you're doing the first step of repair. So you found your base and you're doing your first step of repair. I'd also take some solace in the fact that clearly volume has been going up. Let's have a look here on the daily. Volume has been increasing recently, which is also a positive sign of accumulation by nasty Wall Street. So if nasty Wall Street is accumulating it and they're doing it at the right levels, then that is a benefit. And that is clear accumulation. It's not like you're getting big spikes. I mean, look, to give you a comparison, look at this. See this candle? This candle fell off huge. As a percentage, let's work out the day there. The day was, from the day gap, 19%. And you're getting volume similar to this one over here, which is a short to another short, about 5.5%. So it's a big difference. And that's where the volume analysis, I think, comes into it. Check out your volume, check out the support, check out the accumulation. It gets better. It certainly does get better. Not bad. Norm 316 $5. Can you TA the video? What does that mean? Is video like a stock that I don't even trade? Or are you talking about Zoom? What the hell is the video? I'm serious. I don't know what that is. Norm 316, what are you talking about, sir? If one of the mods could pick up whatever Norm says, send it through. I might be having Monday itis or something, but I'm not sure what we're talking about there right there. US 100 up 0.25% at this stage. US 500 probably will be the stronger session because of the financials being at support, because we're trying to clean the gap. I wouldn't be surprised at all if the US 500, US 30 actually outperform the other sectors today. Let's continue to scroll through all of these. So we've got snow. Looks good. Nice base. Obviously, we talked about this resistance 240 being closed above, which was really, really nice. And that's exactly what we wanted. Volume has been consistently higher, showing big accumulation occurring here. And we're still moving with our ideas of getting at least 260 to 280 out of this thing. 266 to 280. That looks good. End phase for all the traders last week in this one. What a stock. Absolute animal beast stock last week. Huge percentages. Congratulations. In 3 days, this thing put on 17%. That's like better than AMC last week. 17% was that's pretty solid. Indeed. Indeed, it's good. You have the clear resistance at 175. You guys can see it. If we get through that zone, then we can start to really think about, well, is there a move here even higher? I think that at some point it becomes overpriced, but it's great to see this move. Do you get in here? I think you'd be crazy, but riding high, it looks still very, very strong. Shopify hit profit on Friday, hit that first level. If it breaks through, that'd be cool. But yeah, that was a very great flag. What an amazing flag, an amazing take profit. A proof to take profit. I put this one in the Discord community. I'll actually show you guys just so you can see it. It's a sick trade. Just kind of like AMD. That was another good one. I put this in chart of the day. Where are we here? Let's bring it up for you guys so you can see. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a little flag. Closure's actually here. And then boom. Goes all the way through very, very quick into that level. So it's nice to see these kind of zones, these kind of stocks really play out the correct way. I'm not thinking shop may be over, but I could see it consolidating around this zone. And again, this will be a good test for you to go back and have a look at the charts and to see some consolidation, to see some structural formation around this zone before it breaks through, or even another bullish kind of sign would be a breakthrough and a spring consolidation on the top. That's beautiful. I love that kind of TA, guys. That's really, really sweet stuff. Really sweet stuff. Chronically Sam says, remember to smash the like button, guys. Nearly at the 500 mark. Oh, I appreciate the support this morning, everybody. That's awesome. Scott Morgan, super chatting $5. Is it time to short EL, Estee Lauder? Looks a little John Deere-ish to me. Ooh, I'm excited. Let's have a look. EL. Okay. Yeah, not the same. It's not Wyckoff or Wyckoff distribution, if that's what you're saying. But yes, it's weakening. It's not quite the ideal, short that you'd want. So generally what you'd like is kind of like a peak, a high, consolidation on the side. Because not only is this actually a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, but it also fits into a distribution. So when you see a distribution like this plus a really, really nice technical, it's awesome. Yeah, you want to be bearish on that kind of stock. 20 moving average has been buying pressure the whole way through here. So that would be what I'm looking at. 20 exponential. You can see the buying pressure that comes through. If you're thinking about that being a head and shoulders, though, be warned, the right shoulder is much higher than the left shoulder. So that is not a bearish. That is actually more bullish than bearish in terms of just the way it's formed. But yeah, I'm pretty interested in it if it gets through that zone towards the short side. I think you will have support at 280, and I could see it dropping off here if it gets through maybe this next little level. So go down to a daily, have a look, new low, 2 lower peaks. Not my favorite, but I can see definitely the weakness there. Yeah, not my favorite. You got to be really careful about shorts, as I've said. So I like it, but I don't love it. And if I don't love it, I don't do it. Yeah. Nvidia is requested. We'll have a look at Nvidia. Oh, this is from Norm316. Okay, Norm, no worries, man. Nvidia, I think it overran. So a few people were having a cry last week, and I understand why. Because Nvidia did another 9% on top of hitting that already existing 700. And this was all in anticipation of course, stock split, etc. I think the stock has overrun itself. This stock is already very, very highly priced. It's a great stock. I love it. Robotics play, very strong. Semiconductor issues here. We've got massive pipeline concerns. I called the place that I have my 3080 for order today. And they didn't have no answers, believe me. They were like, oh, yeah. I was like, so am I going to get my price? Oh, maybe. There's a lot of maybes and oh, yeah. They haven't received stock for so long. And so many places haven't. So I think that Nvidia still has supply issues. I think that long term, they're really, really good. Where would you be wanting to pick this stock back up based on the current TA? Well, you really need to focus on the 700. We'll be there. We'll continue to watch it, and I will check it out later on this week because that's a nasty candle. I mean, that's a full-on shooting star pin bar candle. That looks weak. Back down to the 700. Maybe we intersect with the daily 20 at the same point. Boom. We've got some interest at that zone. You want to talk about what something's getting better? Something that's actually getting better? I can't believe it. We're about to talk about Tesla in a positive light today from the perspective of price action. I didn't mind Friday's close. I got to say, strong 1%, closure above any of the other levels. So closure above any of the other levels here. This was a week. Remember, this was gap up, sell down. No closure here, failed. Closure, perfect. This makes me think that we're going to go towards our 635 previous resistance. And hopefully if we get through there, we can start to move on repair to the 660. We've got our strong trend line now that's set up. So you know what? If the market comes back down to this trend line and closes below it, we know the shorters are back fully in control of this market. So it's very clear from me, from both sides, that we've got a bull scenario, we've got a bear scenario, and maybe there's a good little trade coming up. I'd be more optimistic, bullish at these points towards the 635 at this stage. Let's have a look at the 1 hour as well, just to understand the price action here. See how there's no closures above, and then all of a sudden you get a closure and a pullback? Again, makes me think this thing can get towards that 635. It's not much, but it certainly is the right type of action that you're looking at here. Kunal says, look at Airbnb, seems to be breaking out. This pre-market's probably wrong, so let me have a look here. We'll just search Airbnb. And we will add that to the speculation watch list quickly. What price have we got pre-market here? Did you say it was moving in pre-market or no? The hell is it? It's escaping me. Oh, well, whatever. I don't even know where it is. Let's just click on it. It's down 0.19. So, yeah, Airbnb is doing the right type of price action. I don't think you're talking about today, but where it is. Yep, the right type of price action. It's getting the right type of write-ups. I think it looks better. I'm feeling good. Closure at an all-time peak. The closure, not the resistance. I know it's spike times. The closure is the key. It's not about the wick. It's about where the hell did we close? Where was the war between the bears and the bulls finalized? That's the only bit that's locked in time. No one cares about your spike that went off down here. They only care about where did it close when they look at the candle. So remember, when you bought down here, you sold down here, and you're like, oh, the earth's falling. This thing's terrible. Well, guess what? Oh, you can't even see my arrow. Well, down here. Then, yeah, I mean, all they care about is where it's closed, because that's what most people are actually trading off. They're trading off the close, not off the movement in between. A few seconds ago, Tom W. super chatted $5. Great name, Tom. Very excellent name, bro. Can you explain VIAC? Looks great fundamentally and is a buyout target, but all the chatter says it is manipulated. What does that mean? You're probably assuming I know a lot about this particular stock. Now, I don't know every single stock, so I can't say that I'm an expert on this $26 billion stock. I don't particularly trade it. If I was looking at this market, though, and I was thinking, this is the one that went to like $100 and then got bashed through. You know, if it's a takeover target, so be it, but you're basically guessing at that point. And remember, in my experience, many takeover targets and much of that is kind of like, BS, really. They put it on forums, they put it on all these things. It creates like this hype and euphoria, and a lot of the time it doesn't work out. So I don't buy on purchase thoughts processes. I buy on the price action, because the price action is going to teach you where the movement's going to be. Now, we have a clear channel. There's no doubt. That's a beautiful channel. You've got your supports, you've got your resistance, you've got your supports, you've got your resistance. It's beautiful, guys. I love it. I love it a lot. But we're in the middle of the damn channel at arguably maybe a point where this support could come back in just because of that consolidation previously. So I don't look at this stock and think, oh, I love buying this. I look at this stock and say, okay, I'm interested in the buys. I'm interested in the sells. And if it comes through and closes, especially to the buy side, I'll be looking at the volume very carefully, and then I'll be purchasing into it. And hopefully the price action is ahead of any of those announcements. Because remember, there's a lot of loose lips in Wall Street, a lot of looseness. The price action will tell us that way. So manipulation, I don't want to go into the chitter chat. I just want to go into what are we seeing. And I'm not seeing manipulation. I'm just seeing standard trade. And this was stupid. That's stupid. This is standard trade in accumulation. Price target for Viacom was over $60. Yeah, but they don't get it right. I mean, when you read the price action and the price targets, let me get a price target up. Okay, here we go. I got one here. So here's a price target for Splunk, all right? And their price target is 166 on consensus. And they've got some dude up here, 225. He's like, hey, 225. And is he going to be correct? No. Do we even know who that person is? Well, you can dial him down if you have it. There's 37 analysts here. And they've been calling very high levels for this stock for quite some time. And it's just been slowly going down. All you look at, when you see these types of things, what you do is you say, okay, how many analysts are covering it? What's their average target over the next 12 months? watch the spread. And what you want to do more than that is you want to basically say, okay, I know that this means that when somebody is getting their money invested from them from some bank, that bank's going to say, guys, we can buy Splunk. And they're like, what the hell is that? And you're like, it's the next big thing, you know, even though it's not, but you know, it's the next big thing. It's worth $166 and you can buy it at $123 right now. Do you want some? Oh yeah, that sounds really good. Okay, cool. We're going to buy that. And that's all you need to think about it from. So then you add that to 5% or some arbitrary percentage to your investment choice. But price action is still number one. Fundamentals is still number one. This is just part of it. Part of the process. So don't worry about their $60 call targets. They don't know what's up. It goes. It's price action, fundamentals, social arb if you can do it on the stock, and then of course you also want the extreme, like all of the other factors, the things that people can't think about, which is usually social arb. Bring them all together, and you've got the recipe for success. Chris says Splunk is rubbish and very expensive just to monitor log files. Yeah, but again with Splunk, it's a stock that is still being very, very high at one point. It's still on support. It's still recovering. We have to differentiate between the idea that, do I want to own this VAC stock forever? Hell no. I don't want that anywhere near a portfolio I don't want that near anyone, ideally. But if it broke through, do I like the trade? Yes. And that's the delineation between your investment portfolio and your trade portfolio. They are different things. You can trade stocks you love, because you end up holding them after. But usually trades and stocks that you want to hold are a bit different. Let's continue through our process here. So we've got ARKG, one of my favored funds actually in the genomic spaces right now. I'd love to see this get up there to the 92. Still could move. Got the gold CRISPR. Did some private hangout today with the community on this one. We're discussing different ways to approach these types of things. So CRISPR's still moving up towards that 136 plus break. Interesting level for sure. PLTR making it in the list. Can you believe it? I've even got the nasty Splunk down here. PLTR, nice closure by the way. Long leg doji on Friday, but a good Thursday session close for the PLTR, the Palantir holders. Nice improvement of volume as well. Volume increasing, which is nice. Yeah, everything's looking good here. Services. What have we been saying for about 2 weeks now? Goods are bad. Services get a tick. We tick the services right now. It's clear to see that the economies are moving through. Everyone's done their random purchases last year because they were depressed sitting at home. And now we want to be thinking about services in general as businesses. That's the way. Learning Splunk made me want to get out of cybersecurity, says Mama. Wow. Splunk looks like snow 3 weeks ago. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much into Splunk, but yes, there is some interesting stuff there. We've got AMD consolidating at our nasty trend line from last week. So that was a beautiful trade. Anyone that got it, congratulations. Great trade. Wow. Did it in 1 day too, which is even more phenomenal. And now we're waiting for it to break through. Will it make the decision? Boom, boom, boom. Or will it just kind of hover around here and then sell off? We don't know yet. But we will be there watching the movement once it occurs. And that's the most important thing for us to do, is to understand that this is a critical level. And we've got to see how the market plays out in this level. And once we get a clear direction, then we can make a choice whether we want to be in that thing. It's about being able to make the choice at the right point when we can. All right, let's move down. We'll continue through. We've got Z. It's a company that I don't want to personally own, but you can see the beautiful trade that occurred on the Friday near the close there. Moved from 114 to 116 and went as high as 116.94. Let's have a look at the daily. See this nice daily closeout? Very nice. Beautiful zone. This stupid stock is now moving up here. There we go. We've moved it into stocks of interest because I like the breakout. Still very much watching this downward trend line. Target obviously will be set around this trend line, 120-ish. It's only a few dollars, but it is there. And I like the volume. I like the increase in volume. I like the consolidation. I like the breakout of the channel. These types of things make a lot of sense when you're looking at it from that perspective. Let's go through some of these crazy squeeze stocks right now as well. So AMC was pretty disappointing last week. And why I say it's disappointing is it's not that it wasn't up. It's just more that every time for me, it kept getting up through the $60 and then failing to go to the 69. And I think most of that was because there was too many options sitting at $69, $70. The $70 strike was just abundantly harassed by retail traders, and Wall Street ain't going to pay you out if they can help it. Now, where's the big strikes this week? I guess time will tell. I'm not sure what's going to be the biggest hit strike, but whenever we know that, that's usually the level the market will try to hold underneath throughout this whole manipulation process. Nice big strength here in the morning, 62.12, but that's not going to really push us through any key resistance. We need to be getting clear of 65-ish, 64.80, that kind of level. And then we move up towards the 70. And then, of course, from the 70, I expect some sell-off. And then hopefully a new spike high, actually. That'd be sweet from AMC. CLNE, I have to add Wish in there today as well. That was a pretty good chart. Thank you very much for the donation. So we'll put Wish in there. CLNE, another one consolidating around, up 1.27 this morning. Nice amount of pattern, I guess, here. We keep failing to get above 12, so any closure above 12 should trigger some buyers. You can clearly see that resistance across the board. That's interesting. Then we've got Corsair down the doldrums. We knew that was a one-hit wonder based on the left-hand side. Unfortunately, if you're stuck in it, you might be sitting in there for a little while on that one. Clove, back at support, previous resistance. Seems like all the interest has come out of this, though, so you got to be careful there. And that's why you've got to pick the poison. You know, BlackBerry's well down as well. But you know what? Support, breakout above 13, all of a sudden it's back. So you've just got to be very well aware. The one I'm looking at, and I'll actually be pretty laser focused on this week, is GME. I'm looking at the 240. I'm interested in the zone if it does break out. I just think that this will eventually get the chitter chatter back on it. And when it does, if it breaks through this zone, then we'll be interested in it. Should be a good one. It's getting on the Russell 1000, I think, as well. Come on, BTC. Love it to break 32K. Come on, baby. You can plunge through it. Man, Martian, you got to remember there's a lot of people in the chat that are probably bullish on this, and that's the scary thing about, you know, the market is, you know, there's people hurting every day in this stream, whether it's bull or bear. Some days everyone's celebrating it's up because you're in an upward trend, but unfortunately there's people getting hurt even on that because they might be bearish on the markets. This is a war between bulls and bears, and the decision that you click and where you put your stop loss and where you put your take profit is super important. And being able to interpret the charts, the psychology of the market is really big. And unfortunately for even the bulls, you kind of need this thing now to make a new low and to take out those stops so that we can begin a proper repair in this market. We almost need this to be a wick off accumulation now, because the amount of times we're touching this low, if it's not a wick off accumulation, it's going to be bad. And what does that look like? I think I've got a chart up here. No, that's not. That's ratio gang. Here it is. Just for anyone that's not aware, this is what you actually need for it to happen. You want a low, like a phase B low. This will take out a huge amount of buyers that are on leverage. And unfortunately for them, they will, of course, get knocked out of the market. And then you need that movement up. See the lightning bolts here? A nice 2 steps forward, 1 step back. And then, of course, a break above and a coil spring. That would be beautiful. If that occurs, oh, so good. You can be so happy if you're in this. But unfortunately, at this stage, we might be seeing one more low here in Bitcoin. 31,000, 30,000 being the key supports throughout the session. All right. Some more donations. Better do some of these. Whoa, I'm far behind. Okay, J Nibble, CHF $5. Hey, Tom, appreciate you. Thanks very much, man. What do you think of hubs? Okay. Am I crazy for thinking it goes to 620 before correcting a bit, assuming the market doesn't drop? I think that's probably the important part. You're assuming the market does not drop. No, you're not crazy at all. You got a big breakout. It stopped before 600. So that's probably a good teller as well. Like you've stopped twice before 600, 570, 550 kind of zone. So it makes sense that on a breakout like this, it should go past 600, smash that 00 and keep moving forward. You also have some precedents down here for thinking 420. So I think that's probably where you get that number from. When you didn't stop at 500, it just went straight through it. 400 went to 420. 300 went to 320 as well. 620 makes total sense, bro. Yeah. The market must keep going up for you to be successful in that, but you are correct, Jay Nibble. And I think if you've done that type of analysis, looked at the previous history to see how the left-hand side played, so you can know that from the right-hand side, you're making a good kind of informed decision. BC Wonders, super chat of $5 Canadian. Hey, Tom, good morning from Canada. Good morning. Hopefully you're having a coffee or tea and you're feeling good there, BC. Do you think LSPD will push past 104 coil then pull back? Let's have a look. So LSPD, light speed. Oh, nice. Weekly looks great. Long leg doji, decision made. Beautiful base. So you're wondering if it pushes past 104. That's a pretty big move. Nice. Still got a little bit of work to do. So 104, that seems like a pretty giant target for you. I don't know why you quite think it's going to go 104. I feel like this is more likely to go... Is it on a different exchange and that's different price? Different price, yeah. I was going to say, you're from Canada. It's probably talking about the Canada stock market. All right. Yeah. So I think it goes past, you're right, even past 104. It makes sense for this to be a base formation that you want to take profit on, and then it goes to like a 120 or something like that. I actually think it go to 120. 104... everything that's formed here, the huge amount of movement, the movement up. Yes, there's resistance at 104, but realistically, this type of thing should smash the high. There's no reason it shouldn't smash the high. So smash the high, a little bit of a coil, possibly, if that's what you're talking about, then 120. Yeah, you're correct. You're correct, BC Wonders. Good luck. Bradley back, Brad, to $2. Arc W just scooped up some Splunk last Friday. Did they now? Arc W. Oh, makes sense. Splunk's in a sick pattern. I said I wouldn't bring it up, but, I'll just chuck it there. Yeah, it does make sense. Okay, let's have a look here at Arc W. Nice breakout. Like all of the Cathy Wood funds, they're all recovering because they're all in hyperstonks, which is what the market's moving into. 20 minutes away from the market open, by the way. Thank you very much to the 1,515 viewers that are joining us this morning. If you're enjoying it, smash that like button, guys. And of course, hit that subscribe button. It does help us out. We're going towards 100,000. I'm not sure if we can close out this year with 100,000, but you know what? It'd be a dream come true if it did happen. Anoop Sonpa. I think we're going to need some more educational videos to get it there. Singapore, $5. Hi, Tom. Can you please cover Marriott MAR? Think good short potential here. Let's have a look. MAR. Marriott International. Oh, yeah. I see your short potential. Lower peaks. So that's a good spot in itself. So what you're basically doing here, and I'm sure you've got something like this, is you're looking at this from a descending triangle standpoint. Shorts are hard in the market, so you'll know that previous resistance, you've got to be very accurate with that. Go to the weekly. So no weekly got underneath here. So you might be able to kind of like be a bit dodge with it and say, if it closes underneath, even if it doesn't get under this, it's so weak. Movement, distance, about that. Yeah. 120, 122 makes sense. It does look weak. It does look weak. I'm just thinking if I like it enough that I think an option would be the best play there. You got to protect yourself from stops, and you also got to risk mitigate hard. So you got to probably use an option in this type of thing. But you are correct. Descending triangle, nice and neat. Alexis Cabrera, $4.99. Hi Tom, can you check out Crocs and any thoughts on it? Old Crocs. Well, firstly, I have one pair that I bought on special. The product is okay. No, it's pretty good. I think it's on a sugar high. I think all these goods are. I think this stock is overpriced. Just firstly, personal opinion. I also think that this might turn out to be a short potential actually at some point. So didn't this go up for some stupid reason about NFTs a while ago as well? We had that big sugar rush, big move. And this could be a classic case of actually a week off creation here. You've got your false breakout, got your pullback. You'll know soon. It'll do this on the side and then bust through. We might watch Crocs. Let me go back to the level up here. Show everyone. Oh, where are we? Not those. There we go. So we've basically had that at this point on Crocs. We've got some good, nice level of support. So it'll be interesting to see whether we get some spring here and then sell off. I think Crocs is overpriced, and you know what? It's going to go on my watch list right now for the short side. It's not short right now, but I do like the pattern that's forming here. It's so overpriced. Broke through. False breakout for sure did occur. There could be buyers here. I expect there to be buyers here. Might be. I think it's short into that level. So I'm going to add it in. I'll come back to it. Probably have to look at all the apparel footwear companies actually. John Moore says, I wear Crocs. There we go. It should be good. Intel, please, says Lucian. We'll check that out soon. Intel is hard to read right now. Josh Screevers, Tom, we'll get more followers if you talk about just one of your conviction stocks and have people jump on the hype train. That seems to be working for the other stock YouTubers. The problem is, though, it doesn't really interest me just to talk about one stock all the time. It's just unfortunate. I've been around. I've done this for too long. So when you do it for 12 years, I just can't bring myself to sit there talking about one stock all the time. It bores me. And if it bores me, I won't have passion, and that will not be good. Garrett Self, $10. Thank you very much for the donation there, man. Good morning from Arkansas. I don't exactly know where that is in America, but yes, thank you very much. Could you check out GFI when you get a chance? Cheap options. Okay. GFI. Goldfields Limited. Whoa. Is that sick? Why is it so low? Is this it? Oh, okay. That's okay. Wait. Oh, no. It traded kind of like stock. Yeah, it traded kind of like gold. Okay, it makes sense. That got busted a lot more than I thought it would, though. If you compare that to the gold chart, it seems to be under-mirroring it. So where'd gold go? Gold went 1776, and it was like 1680. So that means that GFI is underperforming gold. Cheap options, you reckon? You mean to the buy side? You only buy this stock if your conviction is to buy gold. Other than that, you do not buy this stock. If you think gold is going up, then yeah. That will be the one. Arkansas. I don't know, guys. I mean, it's like, Australian accent. I cannot spell it correctly. It's funny. Yeah, I wouldn't touch this thing unless you believe that gold is moving around. If you want to catch the dip on gold, this is one of your opportunities. Obviously, there are other stocks. This is not fully mimicking gold either, which can be a problem. it's getting close to support. But you really just don't think about the stock so much. Think about the metal. When it comes to gold stocks, which I assume this is, that's what I'd be looking at. If it's precious metals only, you're looking for a support around 840 for this one. Thank you very much, Garrett. If I could, I would. Silverman, $2.99, just says silver. Let's have a look at Silver's Trust. Yes. Again, I would look at silver itself. This looks pretty gnarly right now. Let's have a quick look at the silver charts. So silver chart on the support, 25.80, this little bit over here, the slither of silver. And again, it traded high, belted down here in the Monday Asian Open, and then moving towards 26.50 will be the IM. Look, with SLV, there's not much you can really say about it other than if gold recovers, then hopefully this does too, and it is on the trend line. So if you're interested and you want that type of thing, it's on the trend line. But you must have silver, the metal, recover. Oh, okay. Musti, I haven't done Salesforce yet, but we'll do it soon. All right, we're all caught up. We'll do Salesforce now for Musti, CRM. I like the stock a lot. I think the stock is doing big things here, and you can see the series of lower peaks that got busted recently. This is kind of like my slow boomer play in the technology section. I've got it there because I like it, and I think that it's got a good, slow growth curve over the next couple of years as they just continue to build out their business. You're just looking for a little closure above here to trigger the next buying potential for 246, 247. Lots of little rejection candles. So once you get through that point, guess what happens? Participation zone. Because it stopped before 250, I wouldn't expect 250 to be actually a key resistance because you're already coiling here. So yeah, you're just looking for a little breakout above here, and then I hope there's a nice follow through. In fact, my aim is about 270 on CRM. So yeah, I like it. That's the way I've got it drawn. Looks good, man. LTC getting clapped. Yeah, the whole cryptocurrencies right now getting pretty destroyed. Let's have a look through a few. ADA 127. Wow. Let's have a look at LTC. Litecoin. I don't understand why Litecoin even exists anymore, but anyway. 132. We theorized this would get smashed. Series of lower peaks. Obviously, that's why I had that there. Not the best. These can all turn around, though, as soon as Bitcoin turns around. Let's go through a few others. What else have we got that I'm interested in? Let's have a look at the polka dots. How's the dot going? Terrible. 17,355. Ugh. 14 on the low. Polka dot being incredibly weak. Let's have a look at Link. Old Link. Ugh. Another really nasty one. Today's close, pretty important for the cryptos here. Oh, you can really see it. Like, just huge weakness across all these alts. Huge series of lower peaks coming through. Alts just really weak. Bitcoin is the only thing that can get it through and get it done. But it has to reverse around 30, 31, or if it does go under, I don't want to see a closure under. I want to see a nice big pickup of huge whales coming in at like anything under 30. We want 29, 28 and a half. Huge whales coming back in. That's what we need. Matic. Matic will be an interesting one to see on the charts. $1.24. So this was the biggest dead cat bounce recovery. I was pissed at myself about this. I was so annoyed. I was transferring and I thought, I'll buy Matic because it was ridiculous, yeah. And for whatever reason, I just didn't buy it this time. And I remember I was looking at it. There was that initial sell-off. And I think I got some here. And I was like, yeah, I got to buy these. These dead cat bounce. Matic is all hype. It's crazy. And it went up some exorbitant price like in 24 hours, a few days. So you got dead cat bounce, you got dead cat bounce. And then, of course, it's all been downhill since then as the hype wore off on this one. This was a very popular coin. Still is popular. So that's another one that if Bitcoin goes lower, let's say it goes like a 31, you could see Matic quite easily get down to the 70s, 80s again. It all depends on Bitcoin, guys. None of these markets care. It's just what is going on with Bitcoin right now. What do you think of Disney? Disney. Oh, we don't want to look at that, Disney. What do I think about Disney? Pretty expensive. Pretty hard to see a great return in it still. And it actually kind of almost looks like a Head and Shoulders. It'll go bearish soon. I'll be a buyer at like 150 for Disney. It's turning into a bit of a tech company, but it's very large. I mean, this is $313 billion. Hard to make a lot of money on this. So you've got to pick your levels for these big blue chips, and I don't feel like this is the level just yet. It is moving down, series of lower peaks. Weakness is being shown there. So we are 8 minutes off from the market open. Let's dial in now on everything that we're looking at for today. So, of course, we'll watch some of the squeeze stocks. We'll watch AMC coming into the open. Always interested to see what's going on there. Negative 2.42% on the Friday session. Now we are up 4.44. Very nice. I might watch Wish based on what I saw pre-action. 5.96. I think that's pretty interesting. Go 5-minute chart. Wish definitely trending at the moment on the Twitters, the Stocktwits, the Reddit, and everything else. So this will be an interesting one. Break of 12.10 plus should trigger. And then we will watch the Nasdaq or the S&P. Probably the S&P, more interesting today. Let's go to the 5-minute. Looking for this to get up to a 42.15 to 42.20, and I'll show you why. We'll use the SPX. The reason why we need that is we're trying to fill the gap. So this was the gap that was caused. You can see the gap. And a lot of people don't know, but the statistics behind gaps are it's like 70% plus fill. So there is a pretty high fill rate. You just got to make sure you think about the fill and you think about how it's playing out. So filling gaps is a common play for retail community and everybody else. And yeah, it makes sense based on what we saw quadruple witching hour, where the supports are, where the dollar index is, and our full recap before. Memes look bearish, says Truly Messiah. I don't think too bad. Is Disney a good long-term hold? Yeah, if they keep absolutely smashing their licenses, they could be a good medium-term hold. I think they could still make a lot of money. But they've got to just continuously make content for their Disney Plus, and they've got to flesh it out. They've got to get their Fox stuff in. They've got to get the X-Men going on so I can sell my X-Men comics. They're worth a fortune. I can't believe how much they're worth. Enphase. Yeah, Enphase is good. Still looks built bullish into that resistance we spoke about. For all time frames on gap fills, no, just you have to pick your poison. So we're prepared here coming into the market. We'll check out a stock that you guys want to watch. You know what time it is. It's time for you to vote on what you want in the bottom right-hand corner here. Whether it's a crypto, whether it's a stock or something else, vote now. We've got our Wish, we've got our AMC, and we've got our SP500 ready to go. Quick recap of the markets. Dow up the most, up 1% today. No surprises there off the trend line. S&P up 0.78, very nice. Bouncing, trying to fill that gap as we said. And US 100 has no idea where it wants to go with the long leg doji being formed. Bit of rotation we expect into some of those short squeeze stocks, such as the banks, such as maybe even John Deere, Cat, those others that have been falling off a cliff. They should be purchased relatively fine through the morning. Verified News says, do you ever get tired? Will be this week. Quick thing as well, if you're interested, I'm doing an event for Pepperstone on Thursday here in Australia. If you're interested, I'm doing a AMC GME cryptocurrency special spectacular with Chris he's their head of I think fundamentals analysis and everything else to do with the economics there. He's a good guy. So if you're interested in coming attending, 7 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Follow us on FX Evolution on the Twitters, and I'll be announcing that later on throughout the week. So people want Coinbase, nothing, Truly Messiah says. I'm not interested. Lucian wants Intel. We'll do it soon. AMC, you've already got there. Tesla, PLTR, Satoshi, Nvidia, Intel. Interesting. And Nvidia, I think Coinbase and Nvidia make sense. So we'll look at Nvidia. Check out Nvidia, 1.15 down here in the morning. And then we'll move over to the rest. All right, let's do Intel. Everyone wants Intel. This sucks. I mean, it's like a massive range, and you're right in the middle of both those ranges. Yeah, it sucks. It really sucks. I don't know what to think about it, and that's why I can't really do INTC. That's kind of bullish there. Now we're in the middle. If you were going to pick, I'd coin flip it, and I'd go bullish, even though that looks fairly bearish. But it's very tough. I mean, look at the weekly. 2 big bull candles followed by a nice bearish one. That's not good. The length here will take you down. So you could also say it's like flagging towards the short size. I don't really like the chart, I got to be honest, guys. It's not a good level for me. So, yeah, resistance into support. Not the best. Not the best. John Owen says, hey, man, missed you this week. I'm not sure if you're talking to me, John, but hello. Good to have you there. Tom, can you check out app, please? Probably not at this stage. Thank you very much for the donations this morning as well. Also, Dogesh, thank you very much for being a member for 2 months. Appreciate that. We're getting pretty close to 200 members, actually. It's awesome to see. And that's just here. We've got even more members in the private Discord community as well. So thanks so much for the support. Remember, !Discord if you're interested in joining. Let's quickly read the mods here. All good. I got told off for mispronouncing some of those American cities. Amazon looks really, really great. DJ AJ says Intel is just up, up, down, down, up, down, down, up. Yeah, pretty much. That is exactly how it is. You guys seem to want for me to play the intro, so we'll quickly do a little bit of hype. We are 2 minutes off Monday market open. Many decisions will be made throughout today's session. Hopefully things improve if the day is not going well, and if your day is going spectacular already, I hope they get better as well. Let's do it, guys. All right, a little bit of hype here. Woo! My ears are loud. This thing is loud. Turn that down a little bit there. Wow. Whew. It's too loud. Start to love Fastly. Fastly was a great trade. All right, here we go. We're very close to the market open. 1 minute to go. Even less. All right, it's open, guys. We're so late. It's open. Ding, ding, ding. All right, the hype a little bit late here today. Let's get into the market anyway. So we've got AMC opening at 62, so it's coming in exactly where it was expected, 4.72%. Scroll through the markets here. US 100 coming in at 0.21%. So a little bit weaker. I do expect the US 500 and US 30 stocks to do better today based on them getting smashed throughout the last week and really pulling through on those levels. Let's go through the squeezes. What do we got? GME up 2, not bad. 5% on AMC, and Wish comes in at 4.39. CLNE, Corsair has to get off this list because it's useless now. I'm going to dump BlackBerry as well for the time being. We've got some Chinese stocks in here and speculatives as well, which we will be checking out through the week. And we also got to add PDD there because that stock might actually have a trade on it later. So we'll add that. We'll put that as a blue color and we're ready to go. Let's check out the rest of the market. What have we opened at? See how bad it is for Coinbase and Square. Okay. Caterpillar up 2. No surprises. BioNTech, 3M, Deere, All those stocks that were heavy on the short hit. Some take profits last week, so that's why they are up. Let's go to the percentages on the downside. CrowdStrike. Actually, not surprising to see CrowdStrike 3.73 down. That stock has been running hard. And same with Net. Cloudflare has been opening way too hot. Coinbase is down to 220 again, so it's down around that buy zone. Square down 2% because of course, Bitcoin getting smashed. Zoom, all the hyper stocks here, down for the session. Scroll through our stocks of interest, so you can see Square down 2.29. Very disappointing TDOC. Such a POS. Such a POS, this stock with price action. 1.71. Still can't get through the resistance for now. Airbnb barely down 0.67. Shop, pretty nice, 0.76. I still think that's right around that resistance. Then we've got BA floating, ARCG, CRISPR, pins. Unfortunately, hyper stocks, the money will come out of these today and they'll go into the old boomer stocks for now. But you know what? Should turn around throughout the next couple of sessions, hopefully. Don't go dumping BB, says Deborah Smith. It's in our hearts, Deborah. It's in our hearts. But do I need to have it? I've got so many stocks. We've got to dump stocks off this. There's too many stocks here. So look at all the short potential today. All those ones that got bashed last week are getting pickups here. I'm not convinced that they're all so glorious and so great. I just think it makes sense for the market to fill those zones. BTC forming a double bottom on the 15-minute chart. Let's have a quick look. 15-minute. Are we clutching at straws on a 15-minute? We are putting in some work here in recovery. You can see the series of kind of like lower peaks coming through. The big kind of movement underneath 32, recovery, movement down, buyers coming in, potential recovery. Yep, makes sense. No love for AMD. AMD is at resistance. So a few of these stocks, few of the hyper stocks hit resistances last week. Like this one, AMD hit resistance. We've got to be out. It's too damning. This trend line is too damning to not pay attention to that. But, you know, they're all going to come down to supports. So we've got supports just underneath these levels. So most of these stocks are down. But again, I don't think it's surprising. We've had big gains. And remember, on Friday, most of these were green, when unfortunately every other stock was red. So if you're going to have a green hold day and everything else is red, then when the market rotates into the other stocks for the quick kind of bounce play, the day trade play, which is like the Caterpillar, the John Deere, all those stocks that got bashed, this is going to happen. And you can see it here. All right, guys. Well, things to watch today will be the US 500. If it does gap fill up, what you're looking for is the SPX to make some decent moves. If it can, to 42.20, 42.15. If it does fail and move underneath this 50 exponential moving average here on tomorrow's video, we'll be, of course, covering that very closely together on this channel. That'll be a good sign that the bears are starting to control this market. The true teller of the bears fully taking control, though, will not happen to 40.60. Because at 40.60, a closure underneath this, I'll be convinced the bears are in. And the bears are in hard. And if that does happen, oh yeah, we got to be full on prepared to be buying the dip down here in this kind of zone. So we've got, I think, a very good plan here on the markets. I think we can remain cautiously optimistic on all charts at this stage. And if we get underneath this nasty bear zone, then we've got to be cautiously unoptimistic and then feel better about it over here. Feel better about it over here. But yeah, not there yet. Not there yet. CLF. Let's have a look. Cleveland Cliffs. You're making a big deal. It's just kind of crunching up. It's crunching up. Tesla. Let's have a look at Tesla. 620. Not bad. Actually, Tesla is doing much better than I expected. And you can tell that strength is starting to come back into the stock because that daily close, I'm telling you on Friday, was much better than I expected. That is fairly significant. We get underneath this trend line, that'll be bad. But at this point, that's a fairly significant closure. All right, well, we've done our analysis for the morning. I hope all of this type of stuff does improve throughout the session. Obviously, don't want too much of these reds coming through. AMC, guys, I hope you get it as high as you can go. GME, we'll be watching the 240 like a hawk this week. And the rest will continue. And you can see here, again, the rotation that's clearing. If you ever want to see the rotation in physical form, load up your Koifin, which I've got here. Go on a daily. Use Koifin. It's pretty good. And you will be very easily able to tell which sections are going best for the day. So today, it's all about XLB, XLI, the financials, energy, and of course, these are all in the middle. Healthcare still doing all right, and IBB doing okay overall. So remember, chuck in these. You can have all your different sectors in there. Koifin's a great free resource. The guy that made it is a ledge, or the lady that made it's a legend. And I think it's awesome to have that type of free stuff on the channel. Like, comment, subscribe, guys, if you enjoy it. We'll see you tomorrow in the daily video, and we'll be back 1.5 hours before the market open to find out what's going to happen through the session. Bye for now. All right, we'll check app. I'll come back. I'll have a quick look. All right. This is app. Just quickly, do I like this stock? Well, you know I'm going to say no because it doesn't have much history. Yeah, it's certainly weakening. Go like a 3 hour here. Maybe the 4 hour 20s where it finds the support. Unfortunately, this is weakening, and I could see it coming down to those levels. Good luck, though, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Nick, you could be correct about BYND. I'll have a quick look at BYND. Let's have a look at BYND. Beyond Meat. It's at a support, but I need it to break through those series of lower peaks. We'll actually put that on speculation because when Beyond goes, it's a good trade. So that's going into the speculation.